To come on here and give you guys an update on my ear swishing that has been happening for almost 2 months now. Sounds like the damn ocean. It is super, super annoying, and the only way that I can get it to stop is when I press on my carotid. And then it goes away, and as soon as I release it, it's back. So, at first they thought it was a heart issue, specifically my carotid artery. So we did a duplex scan, and they were great. Which, I'm glad they were great, but that didn't give me an answer. So then we did steroids and antibiotics and about 5 different allergy medicines and 2 or 3 different nasal sprays, none of which worked at all. So it's been swishing. Most of the time there's no pain, but sometimes there is. Heat doesn't help at all. Ice helps some. If you've been following along on the stories, in the last week, my jaw has popped and locked up in place twice. And you can still tell a little bit that I've had ice on it, but you can tell that it's inflamed still. I did a live the other day when I was at the chiropractor, and that was due to my jaw locking, and I could only open it about that far. So it makes it very difficult to eat anything. Talking is usually painful. So I kind of just been laying around on ice. I went to the ENT today, the ear, nose, and throat doctor. So I was really, really hoping that he would have an answer for me as to why my ear is swishing. And so I really did like him, actually, because he was thorough, and instead of having me go back for testing on a different day and then go back and see him on a different day, he wanted to get it all done today, which I always appreciate. And it was just right down the road. So he sent me down for a hearing test and a test to check my middle ear. So both of those are perfect, which is, that's 2 tests now, the carotid and the hearing, that are perfect. So I'm like, that doesn't ever happen. So that's the silver lining in the story. So I came back, he went over my results, and he said basically that it's my TMJ. The way that he explained it is that my jaw is so swollen that it's basically stopping the drainage and the flow of my eustachian tube, because it's right here. My jaw's right there. I mean, they're right on top of each other. So when it's not draining like that, it's backing up and swishing. So that means that I get to go see a oral surgeon. The weird thing is, I've had TMJ for years, but it's not been locking up or anything recently until this last maybe 2 weeks. The swishing's been going on for about 2 months, so that's kind of thrown me off, because that happened a lot sooner than the locking, so I didn't really think that they were connected, even though they're on the same side. Excuse me. So now the plan is to get an oral surgeon. I really don't know what they do. I already have a bite guard because I grind my teeth, but it makes it worse. When I wear that, I wake up and my jaw hurts way worse than it did when I don't wear it. So if anybody knows what they do for TMJ at the oral surgeon, I would really appreciate some information. I have these visions in my head of them like breaking my jaw, and I'm sure that's not going to happen, but I don't know. It's a little scary to start messing with my jaw, right? So until I get an appointment with them, the plan is just to ice it. He actually said to use heat, which if it's inflamed, it's ice. So I don't really know what that's about. And I have tried to use heat just to be sure, and it doesn't help. So, and also, one thing that is really a huge pet peeve of mine right now, I take Nabumetone, which is a prescription strength NSAID, twice a day, every day, and I have since surgery. So I mean, I've complained several times before that I didn't think that that was helping with inflammation in like my hip and my leg and my hand. You know, that right side stays inflamed. And so I've said that before. And his first recommendation was maybe we should try some naproxen. I'm already on something a lot stronger than that twice a day. And he was like, oh, yeah. So here's the thing. Why am I taking this twice a day, every day, if it doesn't help with inflammation? Please tell me. Like, I've tried to stop several times because I don't think it's helping. The problem is, it is keeping my migraines at bay. So when I try to stop, I have an 8-day migraine. And the only way to get around that is to suffer through the migraine. And when it gets to 8 days, that's hard to do. So it's kind of like going through withdrawals, right? So why am I taking medicine that doesn't work? I mean, just saying, it's kind of annoying. But if anybody knows anything about treatments for TMJ, especially for like the oral surgeon, I would really appreciate if you let me know what they do, or maybe what you've had done would be great. So I just wanted to update you guys, and if you didn't know, now you know that ear swishing and TMJ are related. Didn't know that, wouldn't have thought about that. Now you know. The more you know, right?